I forgot about this. This is filled with scrap fabric. I gotta go through now because I can't just organize my fabric and not go through all this fabric. Hi there, Michelle here, also known as Fancy Dinotar Party, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am gonna go through all the fabric that I currently own. Okay, I have never actually just gone through all my fabric. I tend to just buy it, put it in a basket, fold it, put it somewhere, and then quickly forget about it. I just repeat the process until I have a giant pile of fabric, which I am pointing at, but you can't see because it's over there. There's a lot of fabric. There's a lot of bed sheets. There's a lot of fabric that I actually bought at a fabric store for future projects that I didn't have an idea for, but I bought it anyways because it was on sale or it was cute or it was something. Then a lot of like just thrifted fabric from thrift stores and some like blankets and just random things. And I don't have a system for them, and I also don't have a system for like the sizing. So like I could have like, you know, the bed sheets, you get a lot of fabric from that, but then I have a lot of fabric that's wouldn't necessarily be able to make like a dress or some type of bigger project, and they're all like kind of lumped in together. I need to separate them and I need to organize because I just something about organizing, I love it, but I absolutely hate it. And I hate it because I don't have the organizational things to organize them in. And that's my problem. I do need to buy something. I don't have anything at the moment, unfortunately, because I cannot afford anything. At least maybe today I can just at least sort things out. And then, hey, if I'm going thrifting or something and I see a furniture item, I'm like, hey, that would be perfect to store my fabric in, because now I know how much fabric I have to store. Although, yes, my fabric stash will continue to grow, whether or not I want it to, because I just love fabric. I think one of my problems is I enjoy buying fabric more than I enjoy making the stuff out of the fabric. I'll buy something really cute and I'll be like, oh, this would make a perfect dress, this would make a perfect top, you know, it would make something perfect. But I'm like, oh, but what if I like mess up and then like that fabric I can't use for anything else because I tried to attempt to make it into something and it didn't really turn out well. And that has happened a few times. That one dress that I made out of a picnic table blanket that was not meant to be made into a dress. Today I thought, let's just go through all my fabric. Now, the fabric that I have currently in my room is not all my fabric, and I'm pretty sure all the fabric that I have in my entire house and garage and whatnot is also not all the fabric that I have. I'm pretty sure I have fabric in my storage unit, but I was not going to drive out and rummage through everything to find something. So we're just gonna go through what I have here. That being said, I do need to go to the garage slash barn. It was a barn, but we call it the garage. Anywho, I gotta go there because I have a tote of fabric in there. I'm really into sewing again. I keep saying this, but crocheting is like my winter fall hobby, late spring. Sewing is like my spring summer hobby because it's more clothes that I can wear, because unfortunately I do live in southern Ontario. It does get hot in the summer. It reaches like, you know, 80, 90, and I cannot wear a crocheted sweater out and about. Also, for any of those longtime viewers, I still have not fixed the air conditioning in my car, and I don't plan on doing it because it's gonna cost me over $1,000. Do you know how much fabric I can buy with $1,000? So yeah, I don't think my car air conditioning is gonna get solved anytime soon, so I can't be wearing chunky, cute crochet items while I go for my ice cap drive in the mornings. Anywho, let's go to the barn and grab the rest of my fabric. I didn't realize I had this much fabric. It's like I knew I had this fabric, but I didn't know how much fabric I actually had. This is nuts. This is crazy. Okay, so the fabric I have to go through, obviously, this tote, this bag, this other bag, and this pile right here that is mostly bed sheets and I think a blanket, but it is very heavy. So the categories that I'm gonna do today, it's gonna be bed sheets, then I'm gonna do fabric that you would buy at a fabric store, or maybe fabric that I bought at a thrift store. Then I'm gonna do blankets. I think I might only have one blanket, but I want their own category for that. And then, really? Please just drive away. Please, just go. Just drive. And then the last category is going to be scrap fabric. So fabric, say from a bed sheet that I cut up to use for something, smaller leftover pieces of fabric. So let's start going through my fabric. All right, so I think I'm gonna go with the bed sheets first because I'm gonna use this as a table. But yeah, I think I'll sort through this pile here. I got so many piles to go through. Why do I do this to myself? I have a day off, and what am I gonna do on my day off? Hey, let's organize all your fabric. Also in this little video, I am gonna I'll show you some of my favorite fabrics and kind of go through them and whatnot, and then we'll see how everything turns out in the end. First up, I have this fabric here. This is actually really, really cute. Growing up, my parents actually had the exact same set of sheets, except instead of having this, I think it's like a dark blue black color, it was brown. When I saw this at the thrift store, it was just like core memories coming back to me. I'm like, I have to pick this up. So this is one of the bed sheets. Then I have this here, which is a sunflower tapestry blanket. A few months ago, what, January, I ended up making myself a tapestry blanket sweater, and it had some like cats and some, I think, swans on it and some type of fruit. That one actually turned out really good and I really liked it. So when I saw this one at the thrift store, I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna pick this one up too. Although I will be honest, I think I want to make this into a coat, but it's summer now and I don't want to make anything that I can't wear right away. I want to make stuff that I am able to wear. So this is, I think, might be the only blanket that I have in my fabric stash. If you watched my last sewing video, which was the last video that I did, I ended up turning this sheet into a button-up shirt. It turned out way better than expected because I was terrified of putting buttons on anything because I'm like, I'm just gonna mess it up and then it's not gonna line up and it's gonna be a disaster. Well, it wasn't a disaster and it turned out quite well, and it was actually a really easy pattern to follow. I still have all this fabric left over. So next up, I have this sheet here. I actually did make a dress out of this. I bought two of them. There was two of them and I'm like, well, I'm gonna buy both of them. And what's so funny is that I've mentioned this in the past. When I was 16, I actually found this exact same fabric at Value Village. And honestly, I think it was the same Value Village that I picked these up at. 15 years apart, I find the exact same fabric. And that should be a video on its own. Me going through my past fabric, which I'm pretty sure is in the attic over there. And I always point to it and it's just like, it's taunting me. I have a bunch of old clothes in there and old fabric. So I would really like to go through that. Then I have this one here. Look at how cute this is. It's so cute. So it's like fabric like this. I don't know what to do with it because it's so darling. I think I would love to make this into a button-up dress and Frankenstein two patterns together. I'd probably Frankenstein the McCall's 7948. Pretty sure that's what it's called. And then I probably would take that clay blouse pattern that I used to make the top and like combine the skirt part of the one and the top part of the other, put them together, and I think that's what I'm gonna make out of this. I think this would be really cute as a dress. And then I have two of these. Can't believe I found both of them. They were $3.99 each and they are twin. Usually when I buy fabric or bed sheets to use as fabric, I like to buy double, king, or queen sets. I don't really like going for the single because sometimes it's just not enough fabric. So when there's like two single sheets together, I'm gonna buy these. I definitely want to make a dress out of this, and the dress I'm thinking is very similar to that dress that I'm always making. The McCall's M7948 dress. I probably should learn the actual like name of it and not just the number. I want to make it shorter and I want to make like longer sleeves. That's what I envision this as. Hey, I have this material here, and if you watch any of my crocheting videos, I used to use this as the backdrop for what I was like crocheting on top of. It was this, and it's this very nice dusty rose pink baby corduroy material. I probably could make myself like an overall dress or something, like a pinafore out of this. There's so much of it, and this I actually thrifted. So this is gonna go in the fabric pile. And then the last one of this pile that I had here is this sheet. I bought it because like I really do like the pattern. It's just the problem is I think it's one, a single sheet, but two, the pattern is very kind of like spaced out, and I would rather have a pattern that's like this, bold, in your face, whereas this one's a little bit more spaced out. It's kind of very similar to this one, but then this one again, bold colors, the print is more in your face. That's why I like it. All right, on to this bag. This is actually fabric that I got from my Oma back in I think 2008, 2009. My Oma gave me like a bunch of just random fabric. I feel like I'm the only grandchild that has taken up sewing and crocheting because that's what she did. Well, my sister does crochet, but she doesn't sew. So I think I am the only grandchild out of like all of my cousins that crochets and sews. So I'm really glad that she gave me all the things. I wish she would have given me like her sewing machine and like all the doodads that came with it, and maybe she did, maybe I didn't know what they were. That's a whole other video where I gotta go through all that stuff. And I actually did make it into a curtain at one point. My sewing skills were not great, didn't even use the right color. It's all wonky. I gotta go through all my fabric that's in I think the attic, and I'm not digging that out right now. That would take up the whole video of me just going through it and being surprised of what I still owned. This is gonna go into I think the fabric pile because it is This stuff here broke me. It broke me. It's cute, but look at it. It's still fraying. It's still fraying. It's still fraying. Yeah, so this is gonna go into scrap fabric. I don't know what I would ever use this for because it was a nightmare to work with, but maybe one day I'll need a project for this. So that's fine. We'll put that in scrap fabric. This bed sheet. Oh my god, this one's so gosh darn cute. I think I thrifted this one the same time as that other blue one I really like. Again, it's like a material that I don't know what I would do with because it's just so beautiful that I would hate to like make something I don't like out of it. That's my problem with a lot of these. Ooh, I forgot about this one. Then I have this one here. It has 3 types of flowers. You have your daisies, your daffodils, and your tulips. I really, really like this one. These 2 bed sheets here, they are Star Wars, more modern day Star Wars. I think my sister had bought them and then she used them like once and was just like, it's not my style anymore. I think she was gonna like donate them and I'm like, what are you doing with those? Like, give those to me. I'm gonna make a dress out of them eventually. Then I have this. These are satin, wrinkle very easily, and I actually thrifted these and they were bed sheets. So there was 2, so there was like the fitted sheet and the flat sheet, and then there was 2 of these pillowcases. I don't think they were too cheap. I think they might have been like $8 each. So cute. And it does remind me of the other blue ones that I have, but like the material is just... That's the back of it. You guys gotta see the front of it. Look at this. This is just so beautiful. I feel like this is a very frayable material that if I cut into it, it might like go crazy. So I kind of want to wait until I have a serger and like the perfect project to make something out of this. Because although I do have 2 sheets, I don't know where the second sheet is though. I only know the one right now. I want to wait for the perfect project to use this in. So this is sheets. That can go with sheets. The last fabric in here. I thrifted this way before 2020 and I don't even remember when in 2019, but it was definitely before the whole panorama started because I cut out a little bit at the bottom here because I ended up making my very first fabric mask out of it and then I proceeded to lose it. I feel like I lost it in my ex's car. He said it wasn't in there. I bet it was probably in there because it was the only place I went besides my car that I would have used it in. Anywho, this looks like it was a handmade duvet cover for a double bed. The stitching on it, very handmade, and I really love this. Like, I love this material so gosh darn much. It's just one of those materials that I'm like, wait, should I have saved it as a duvet cover because then I could look at it every single day when I'm in bed, but I already cut into it. I was a fool. I would love to make a dress out of it, and I've wanted to make a dress out of it for such a long time. I just never got around to it. It's just one of those materials that like once I use it, I'm never gonna find this material ever again. So I have to be very careful of what I make things into. We're gonna go into this bag. I think this bag has a lot more fabrics in it and not bed sheets. First thing I pull out, bed sheet. All right, now we're into the fabric. If any of y'all remember when I used to have that little camper, I was looking for like the perfect curtains for it and I had found this. I think this one's super cute. Now that I don't need curtains because I got like actual real curtains, I can use it as fabric. Then I have this fabric here, which is super cute. Do I still have the tag on it? The tag is still on here. It was $3.99. I do wash my materials before I do use them, and that's something you definitely have to do. One, you know, to get them all clean and sanitary, but the other one is your fabric may shrink, especially when you buy cotton from fabric stores. They will shrink. Always buy a little bit more fabric than you think you need and wash them before you make your project. If you don't wash it and you just make your project and it fits you perfectly, you put that in the wash once, it's not gonna fit you perfectly anymore. That's just a little sewing tip. Oh right, I have this. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize how much of this I had. This really nice dark chocolate velvet material. Forgot I even had this. I think this is the fabric that made me be like, hey Michelle, let's go through all your fabric so you know what fabric you have, because I don't remember seeing this one in a while. So this bag is all emptied out. That's good. Guess the last thing to go through is this before I can start really folding and putting them away properly, get them in their categories before really folding them up, because I don't want to fold them a certain way and then turns out, oh no, you should have folded them a different way so they could fit better. I have this material here. Oh my goodness. I bought this right before the panorama and I think this was like $5 a meter, and I'm a sucker for like $5 and under a meter fabrics. And it's just a bunch of cats in Paris. Look at how cute they are. They're just, they're so cute. Look at them. go. And then I brought it home and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make a bag out of it or something. And then I'm like, I should have bought more of it. So I did. I went back and I bought more of it. I think I bought 2 more meters of it, so I would have 3 meters in total. And I would love to make this into like a nice jacket, similar to like, you know how like a denim jacket is like structured. That's what I'm thinking I'm gonna make this out of. And then if I have enough left over, I will make a matching bag to go with it. But again, this is more of a fall project. Ooh, we have this here, which, oh my goodness, look at these cute little cats. These look like the cats that would get themselves into trouble in cartoons. It's just the vibe it's giving me. And then I have this here. This I thrifted so long ago. Sparkly. There's some stretch to it. Another bed sheet. I think it's coming out more purple on screen, but it's really more of like a dusty purple, like, you know, like a dusty rose. Then I have this. Oh, you know what? This would actually make a really cute button-up like Hawaiian shirt. I think there's enough fabric to do that. I have an apron. I think I got this at IKEA. It's cute, but like I like the aprons that have the bib on it, but this is really cute fabric. So I'm gonna put this actually in my fabric because I don't think I'm gonna wear it as an apron. And then I have this here, which is kind of like a baby pink bed sheet. I don't know if you guys remember last year Target had all those bright colored dresses out, and then they had the one that was like two-tone, which was I think like a dark pink and like a baby pink. I really wanted to do something like that where I would maybe take this color and then like this color and then make one of those. I think that'd be really cute, and that's why I haven't really done anything with this yet, because I'm like, oh, what if I do decide that I want to make these into like separate dresses, or I want to make them into one dress? So that's why I haven't really done anything with this. Bucket is now empty. So I think for now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try my best to organize them between this and this. So I think in this bigger one here, I'm going to put all of my bed sheets, and then in here I think I'm gonna just fold all my fabric pieces really nice. All of my bed sheets fit into here, which is fantastic. And now I guess it's time to move on to fold up the fabric pieces. I forgot about this. This is filled with scrap fabric. I gotta go through now because I can't just organize my fabric and not go through all this fabric. But I actually use this as my sewing chair. The lid comes off. Pattern pieces. That is not today. I was considering also going through my pattern pieces in this video. No, it's not happening. I have way too much fabric to go through. Maybe one day, but for now, it's just a bunch of paper everywhere. Okay, I am not gonna force you guys to watch me go through all of this fabric because it's packed like this. It's packed full. So maybe I'll just show you some of my favorite ones. A lot of this material here is from when I had a little Etsy shop and I was making face masks and stuff like that. Ooh, this material. I thrifted this material. It's pretzels. Yeah, I bought this for a project and then it just never happened. So maybe I'll make this into some scrunchies or something. I don't know if my hair is long enough for scrunchies. This I thrifted. It's just a bunch of like vintage cars and stuff. I wish there was more of it because this would have made such a cute button up. Snoopy fabric. Really cute. I think this is either silk or satin. This is so cool. It's bugs, which I like bugs, and it's actually glow in the dark. Like, it's so cool. Like, this is glow in the dark material. Oh my god, it's amazing. I wish I had bought more, but I think I got this at like, I think it was called Lens Mills in Stony Creek or Hamilton. I had bought this when I was when I went to Florida because there was a, I think it was a Hobby Lobby, which they don't have in Canada, and I thought it was just really cool, and it was on sale. I usually buy fabric that's on sale. A very like mermaidy. And then I have this. That's so cute. The cats and little costumes. Look how cute. It's cats. I buy fabric, but it's not enough to make anything out of. Before, this used to be like all the way up the top. I actually have some like room that I can put some smaller fabrics in, so that's great. All right, so I can put the lid back on here, and I'm gonna put all the fabric pieces in here and just kind of organize them a little bit nicely. I've organized everything and I think I did a really good job. I started off with 3 things full of fabric minus the stool, because I forgot all about that, but minus that one because I just put the stuff that was in it back in, but I folded it nicer and there's more room in it now, and then I took out any bigger pieces of fabric and put it with the fabric. This is now completely empty. I think I'm gonna put like hats, scarves, mittens, all that jazz that I'm not gonna be using until like the fall, winter time, so I think all that's gonna go into here. But I have all of fabric is so heavy. All of my fabric is in here. It's nice, it's folded. Well, the fabric is in here, and then in here, also super heavy, is all of my bed sheets organized. I kind of put the more prettier ones on top, so maybe I'll see them and I'll be more inspired to actually make something with it. I love how my fabric is like stored nicely now. It's definitely gonna be a game changer. I think that pretty much sums up organizing and going through my fabric. I feel like if I didn't do a video on this, I probably wouldn't have done it, but if I'm like, you know what, you're gonna do a video, you're gonna edit it, you're gonna put it on YouTube, so you gotta get this project done, whereas halfway through I would have been like just shoving all the stuff back in the bag and not caring. That's why I do videos sometimes, is for me to actually get things done. I think that will do it for this video, so if you're new to my channel, like sewing, crafting, but mainly thrifting, why not subscribe? You can also follow me on my Instagram and TikTok, which is Fancy Dinosaur Tea Party. I think that is it, so y'all have a good day now.